Okay. So, scene one. What was going on in scene one? Anybody have any ideas what was happening in scene one? And I keep having just the same hands coming up. So, anybody else? Okay, Avril. There was what? They were looking for stuff to sell, right? They were trying to find stuff to sell. What else was going on? Zena.
While they were in the basement, they found a diary from one of their ancestors.
They found a diary from their ancestors, right? Yes. Good. Anything else from scene one? Sienna. They what? They were looking for their grandmother's earrings. Good. Good. Anybody have anything else we didn't mention from scene one? What did she need money for? Alicia. To buy a bike, right? She wanted to buy a bike, she needed money. That's kind of why she was, interested in the earrings. Remember? Okay, good. Let's go to scene two. Turn the page. Go to scene two. What was happening in scene two? Do I have another volunteer? Elora. Good. She asked if he was related. Why? Yes, if he was related, he might know where the earrings were. How did she think he was related? What told her that he might be related to her? His last name, right? Mr. Snow, right? The same. Okay, what else? Lawrence. Good. So Mr. Snow, he thought he remembered the name, he just couldn't remember it clearly. Who was Mr. Snow? Was he actually related? Yes? Lawrence?
Yes, he was.
It was the grandson, right? The grandson. Good. Okay, scene three. Last scene. What happened in scene three? Just a quick summary. Zena.
Mr. Snow hands him an envelope, and inside the envelope is the earrings that were mentioned in the diary.
Yes, he gave him the envelope. It had the earrings inside. Did it have a note inside as well?
Yeah.
Yes? Good. Okay, what did they decide to do with the earrings? Alicia. Decided to keep them instead of selling them, right? You have another one?
The homeowner forgot about inside the safe, so Mr. Snow found it.
Good. Good. He forgot about putting it inside the safe. Sydney? She decided to keep the earrings, right? She figured she could make other money or more money elsewhere to buy the bike. Good. Why were the earrings important? Aiden?
It was the family's heirloom.
It was a family heirloom, right? So you guys now remember the whole play again? Yeah? Okay, good. So right now what we're gonna do, you guys are gonna open up your Chromebooks, okay? You're gonna go on a Pear Deck. The code is going to be, I'm gonna pull that up right now. Yeah, the code's gonna be FCAWJA. FCAWJA. Let me know if you have any problems getting on. FCAWJA. Okay, are you all on? Who's not on? Anybody? You all on? Okay. So, before we start our prayer deck, that reporting sheet I just passed out. The treasure in the attic theme notes. Okay? What you see here is what you're going to, during our prayer deck, you're still going to respond on the Chromebook, okay? You're still going to do our normal responses, but this, you're also going to write on as well, okay? It says, concrete details, okay? What details did you notice in scene 1? Why did the characters do or say what they did? We're going to have questions like this in our prayer deck. You're going to also respond here, okay? So you're not only going to respond on the Chromebook, you're going to respond on here. This is going to be for you. It is going to be notes for you. Okay? Does that make sense? Yes. Everybody thumbs up? Yeah? Good? Okay. So I want to see this filled out as well. Alright? You don't have to do long responses. Just a couple words, a phrase or two, things to help you remember, okay? Nothing long. Okay. Okay. You guys have it on, is it on pulling up the second slide for you? Yeah? Okay. What I want you to know, identify theme in a narrative text. Use text details and reasoning to support the theme. So I want you guys, we're going to identify theme in this play. Okay, we want to figure out what the theme was. Okay? What is the theme of the play? We're going to use details and reasoning to support the theme. Okay? So we're going to pull up text evidence to support why we feel that that's the theme. Okay? Okay. So, some vocabulary that you need to know. Theme. Alright? Theme is a message about life. Okay? It's conveyed or shown through the text. So for example, a theme would be true friends are hard to come by. That's a theme, right? It's a message about life. Okay? Do you all agree true friends are hard to come by? That would be a theme. Okay, what about concrete details? Those are details that are found in the text. Alright? Can someone read me stage directions? Avril. What the characters do in a play? We've already gone over that, right? Dialogue. Can I have Alicia? What the characters say in a play, okay? And then of course reasoning would be Zena.
Thinking or explanation.
So when you get reasoning, it's your thinking, right? Your explanation as to why you had that answer. Okay, reasoning is why you came up with what you did. Okay, so this is a pretty good graphic, but it explains plot and its story and theme. So when we have the analogy of an iceberg, then we see the plot, right? The plot is the events, okay? The events of the narrative, okay? The story is what? What would the story be? Can you guys see that? It's a little hard to see. Internal and external character conflicts. So that's kind of what's the problem, okay? So the story is what's going on, what's the problem, all right? Concrete details are seen in the text. What characters say and do, those are details. What events happen in the story, okay? A theme is found through the entire text, okay? That's very important. It's not just one thing, one time in the text. A theme happens throughout the whole story, all right? Okay, can someone read me what theme is down here? Alicia. Okay, and then right here? Mm-hmm. Good. So what is the author trying to teach us, okay? And what are the details leading us to? Is theme, do we notice theme right away? No, we don't. Why? It's under the surface, right? We have to actually use the details to figure out what was going on. So in this story, in this play, we have to look at what was going on to determine what message they're trying to send us or give us, okay? What they want us as the reader to know. Okay, when we're identifying theme, most times readers must find text clues that suggest a larger message about life. So as we said, you need to look in the text and you need to find clues that suggest a larger message. Can I have read me step 1? Right here. A little bit louder, please. Focus on characters' actions, state what your stage directions, and speech dialogue. Okay? Aiden, what's the next one?
Consider how the characters and plot events affect each other. Why do characters do and say the things they do?
Good. So why does Liz and Emma do and say the things they do in the play? Okay? And then finally, do we need to ask Sydney? Good. So we need to figure out what message does Liz and Emma's actions suggest to us. Okay, what message are we getting? Alright, so for identifying theme, we looked in this in scene 1, okay? What were some concrete details that we can find in scene 1? Now this is what you're going to record on your paper, but we have it here for you as well. Concrete details. What was going on? Lawrence. Good, and we know that because it says we have to. I need $25 more for that new bike. Okay? What was another concrete detail? Somebody I haven't heard from. Ismail. What does it say right here? On
You're
your
supposed
book.
to inherit, you're the oldest.
You're supposed to inherit, you're the oldest. Talking about what?
The earrings?
Like the heirlooms, right? What they found? Good. Says I hope they're worth a lot of money. Okay, these are all details that help us figure out the theme. Alright? These are all important details in the text. It's things that are happening and it's things that the characters are saying and doing. Okay? Nathaniel, can you take your hood off for me? Thank you. Alright. I want you guys to think about the concrete details. What do you notice? What do you think the characters are? What do you think the characters are thinking and feeling? Okay? So go ahead and give me in your responses, what do you notice about what's going on from the details that we just wrote down? And what do you think the characters are thinking and feeling? So go ahead and do that. I'll give you about a minute to 2 minutes to write your response. Does not have to be long. Phrases are fine. You do not have to do complete sentences. Okay? What do you notice from these details? And what does that tell you about what the characters are thinking and feeling? Okay, about 30 more seconds. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. If you are confused, if you have a clarifying question, if you have something that you noticed, anything, feel free to share out. Okay. Lock the screens. Okay, what do we got? I realized that Emma was coughing from the dust in the basement. Okay, so that's what you realized, but is that explaining maybe a deeper message? Or is it just explaining that there was maybe dust in the basement, that type of thing? We need to think about what type of message. I noticed that Emma and Liz are looking for things to sell. They feel curious. Okay, I noticed that Liz wants the bike badly and will do anything for it. Liz is desperate. Okay, that's a good one. I noticed the main characters are going through stuff. They are amazed by the stuff they found. Okay? What is this telling us though? So a lot of you are telling me what you noticed, but what is it telling you about what's going on? So what I mean by that is some of you have said it, they're curious, right? That's a good one. That's what you notice and that's kind of what it's telling you. I noticed that the characters are looking for things to sell. This makes me think that the characters are thinking about how they're going to make money. Perfect. I love this one. This one explains that's going on. They're looking for things to sell because they're trying to make money. Okay? So that's the first step in the play. They're wanting to make money. Okay? So this might cause an issue later on, as we know, right? Okay, good. We're looking for something to sell, found a diary. Ooh, I think the characters are filling the diary some clue where the earrings are. That's a good one. Okay? Who's excited? Everyone wants to find a pair of earrings. Good. Good job, guys. So yes, these are all things that you notice and kind of things that you're telling me. So again, make sure you're recording this on your sheet as well, so you have it for reference. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you guys, what might the characters be learning? So from scene 1, when they were going through the attic and they came across the diary, right, and they're looking for the earrings, what might the characters be learning? And when you think about what they're learning, what can you learn from them? What do you notice about their actions? Okay, what is it telling you about them? Okay, so go ahead and respond. What do you think the characters are learning as they're going through the attic? What are they learning about? And from their actions, how they're acting, what does it tell you about them? What is it telling you about the characters? Liz and Emma. Another minute to respond. I'm waiting on one more response. Somebody hasn't responded yet. And again, guys, as you write, both in your responses on Pear Deck and your responses on your recording sheet, they do not need to be full-on long paragraphs, long sentences. Just short phrases. That's all we're looking for, okay? Short phrases. It does not have to be long. Okay. So we have when they're going to the attic, they're learning about new items, right? That she's desperate for a new bike and wants to sell the earrings. Okay, so that's good. But scene 1, we don't know. Do we know already if Emma doesn't because she's respectful of others and is responsible? Do we know that yet? Is that something we knew already in scene 1? We know that later on, right? So that's right, but in scene 1, what do we know? We know that they're learning about their grandma's past, okay? And I can learn that the earrings are important. It's a family heirloom. It's a good answer. Okay, the characters are learning about the ancestors' past. Yep. These are all good answers, right? This is all about the ancestors. They're learning about what went on in the past from the diary. Okay? And what does it tell us about the girls? They're interested in it, they're curious, right? They're interested in the earrings, obviously, right? They're trying to find them. So that's something that's telling us about. Okay, good. So I'll give you a second to write down on your recording sheet about that. Okay, now for scene 2, okay? So you can go ahead and get on to scene 2, which is Snow's General Store. This is a very short scene, Okay, it's not very long. What I want you guys to do is identify what the characters, so Mr. Snow, Emma, and Liz, what they do and what they say. Okay? So just give me things that they do or what they say. Okay? So you guys can respond to that. What do the characters do and say? Short responses to that. What do the characters do and say in this scene? We're only looking at that. We're not looking at what the message behind it. We're not looking at what we notice. We're just looking at what they do in the scene and what they say. Okay? About 30 seconds to finish that. We need one more to respond. Okay. So Liz and Emma asked Mr. Snow about if he's related to Mrs. Snow, and they found it in diary. Says that's unfamiliar name. They go to Snow's general store, ask if he's related. Good, so all these are about if he's related. Yes, it's exactly what's going on in scene 2. Okay? They're trying to find the grandmother's earrings, and they think, well, if we go to Mr. Snow, we figure out he's related, maybe he'll have them. And maybe he'll know where they are. So that's something that you saw from what they were saying and doing. Okay. So in that case, I want you to think now about the concrete details. What do you notice, and what do you think the characters are thinking and feeling? So now that they talked to Mr. Snow, what do you notice? Okay, what's happening? How are they feeling? Okay, so go ahead and just respond to that. How are they feeling? What do you think, just from looking at that, what do you think they feel? There's kind of a hint in there. I see a big hint as to how they're feeling. Okay, I'm missing 2 responses, and then we'll go. Just quick, short phrases, nothing long. What are the characters thinking or feeling? And what do you notice? Okay, because again, we're trying to figure out the theme of the story. What is the theme? That's what we're focusing on. This is how we identify it. We look through it, what the characters' actions are, what the dialogue is. It helps give us clues, right, as to the overall message of the entire story. In this case, the play. Okay, they're excited to find out Mr. Snow is related, but disappointed that he doesn't know who Flossie Howard is. It doesn't ring a bell. Okay, this was the word that I was talking about. I gave you a hint. They are feeling disappointed. It says right here, with disappointment. That's a stage direction. In parentheses, Liz with disappointment. Well, thanks anyway. Okay? A lot of you got that. Okay? They were happy to know he might be related, but disappointed that he wasn't sure. Okay? So that's what we notice in this scene. Okay? Good. I see a lot of disappointed. Good. Okay. Again, just a short response. What might the characters be learning? Okay? What can I learn from the characters? So in this scene, they're disappointed. What might they be learning? What does them being disappointed tell me? What does it tell me as the reader if they're disappointed? Think about that. If they're disappointed that he doesn't know if he's related to her, what does it tell me about the characters? Okay. So they're learning that Mrs. Snow is related to the person in the diary. This tells me that one character, Mr. Snow, could be a benefactor to Liz and Emma's search. The characters are learning that he's related to Anna Snow but doesn't know who Flossie Howard is. They might be learning more about it. They're learning that there are some things they don't know. Okay. So it tells me the characters really wanted to learn more about their great grandma's earrings. And it was a big letdown, right? They really wanted to learn more. They're very curious. They're on a mission. They're trying to find out where the earrings are. Okay. Good. They're disappointed. Good. All right. So what we're gonna do for scene 3 is the same thing we've been doing for scene 1 and scene 2. We're gonna look at scene 3 now. It says Liz's yard. Okay, the girls are setting items out for the yard sale as neighbors arrive. Identify what the characters do and say in this scene. What do the characters do and say in scene 3? Okay, they're at the yard sale now. What happens in scene 3? You guys told me. Okay, you told me what happened in scene 3. Now you just need to respond to the question, and I'll open that up for you. What do the characters do and say in this scene? So in this scene, you have Mr. Snow, you have the yard sale customer, you have Liz and Emma. What is happening in this scene? Okay, about 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds to get a response in. Okay. Mr. Snow comes to the yard sale with an envelope that has earrings and a note. Liz and Emma are very happy about getting the earrings, but Liz was already wanting to let them go to get money for the bike. Okay, Emma reminds her how important they are. And what happens? She ends up not selling them, right? Mr. Snow comes, he hands them an envelope, right? Good. Good. Mr. Snow gives them an envelope, explains what happened. I like this one. They bring up the quotation. $25, I can get my new bike. She's all excited, but the earrings are family heirlooms. That's what Emma reminds her of. Okay? Reminds her how important they are. They are rethinking and decide not to sell the earrings because they're too important to the family. Good. Great responses. Okay. So the last thing I want you to do, think about what you just responded with, the details that were happening. What do you notice, and what does that tell you about how the characters are thinking and feeling? You kind of already answered this already in some of your responses, but what do you notice? What are they feeling? What are they thinking? What is Liz and Emma feeling and thinking now? Now that they found the earrings, what are they doing? How are they feeling about them? Remember, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Anything you need clarified, anything, raise your hand. You're getting a response and recording on your sheet. We'll pull up those responses. Let's see how many responded. One more person needs to respond. Give you about 10 seconds. Okay. Yes. Okay, so it says they feel that the earring is important to the family. I noticed Liz is excited about what she could get out of selling the earrings, yet Emma is more considerate and reminds how important and meaningful to the family they are. They felt happy that they found the earrings and they feel that they were important. Okay? So at the end, you notice that they have a very tough what? What was one of the things we talked about yesterday? Aiden.
Decision.
A tough decision. We talked about this yesterday, making hard decisions. You guys have had to make hard decisions in the past. Now, Liz and Emma have to make a hard decision. Do they sell the earrings and make $25 to buy a bike? Or do they keep them because they're very important to the family? It's a family heirloom. Okay? And we all know, right, what happens. Okay? Good. I think they felt stressed. I can see that, right? They might be stressed. It's a tough decision. If you have a hard decision to make, you can be stressed out. You don't know what to do. You're stressing about it. Okay, in the end, they're happy to get the earrings, but Liz was willing to let go of the earrings to get money, and then Emma reminds her. So Liz listens to Emma. Okay, good. Good. So now, last question. What might the characters be learning or have learned in this scene, and what can I learn from them? Okay, go ahead and respond. What do the characters learn in this scene, and what can I learn from what they do? So, what Liz and Emma do in the end, what does that tell me about them? What does that tell me? And in the end, now that Liz and Emma have decided to keep the earrings, okay, you know what their actions were, you know what they did, using the concrete details from scene 3, what does that tell me? Okay, waiting on 3 more responses. Avril, you responded? Okay. Alright. So that they might have learned that something that is important and meaningful is a better choice than choosing money. That's awesome, right? That would be something that you can take from the whole story. Something that's important, and something that is worth something is more meaningful than money, right? They learn to be respectful of other people's property, okay? They don't just get rid of something from somebody else's, right? Something that somebody else had. Heirlooms are much more important than a bike. Tells me they're considerate and caring. Fantastic. Okay, that tells me that they're considerate and caring, right? They learn the importance of something and making the right decision. So they had a tough decision to make, they made the right one. Would you guys agree they made the right decision? Yeah? Okay. The characters are learning that Liz shouldn't sell the earrings since it's important to the family heirloom. Good. So it looks like you guys all learned that it is what is more important is a family heirloom than maybe selling it for a bike, right? That's just a short-term thing, but a family heirloom lasts forever, right? Money is not always the right choice. Good. Good job. Okay. So as you record that on your sheet, as you record that, finish recording whatever you were writing down, I want you to think about the theme of the story. Okay? What was the theme of the play? What was the theme? Anybody have something that they want to share about the theme? I know you guys already responded with a lot of it that maybe was the overall theme, but would you agree that the girls realized that what's more important in life is things that family, right? Things from their past, things of the family is more important than maybe money or short-term things such as a bike, right? Good, a lot of you answered that. So this quick write is going to be homework, okay? So on in Google Classroom, it'll be a Google form that you'll pull up and it has these questions on there. You will answer, what is the theme of the text? What do you think the characters learned